More and more Americans are getting fed up with seeing their hard-earned tax money sent to Ukraine. Democrat House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries found that out firsthand.
What an honor and a blessing to be here.
Where is your peace plan for Ukraine?
With you all.
We're heading to nuclear war.
The New York Democrat being left speechless this weekend as angry citizens call for a peace plan for Ukraine and argue that we're actually headed towards nuclear war. Jeffrey stood speechless for about a minute while the crowd argued over the outburst. Eventually, as you can see here, the protesters were escorted out. And while Americans appear to be losing their appetite for supporting the war in Ukraine, the Pentagon is reportedly in talks with Germany and Poland to hold joint military drills in response to what Germany's defense minister calls Russia's threat to the eastern border of the NATO alliance. The war games would likely be held in Poland, which borders Ukraine, and would send a, quote, very clear signal to NATO allies and to Russian President Vladimir Putin, says the German defense minister. All of this comes as Putin appears more willing than ever before to at least consider the use of nuclear weapons, as the war in Ukraine is now dragged on for just over a year. And Arizona's election problems and allegations of election fraud are well documented and continue to be challenged in court. But a new bombshell allegation was just dropped in a joint state House and state Senate committee hearing on the elections.
In Arizona, laundered cash is used in part to bribe elected and appointed public officials and their support staff.
That was part of a presentation by longtime Arizona resident and forensic investigator Jacqueline Brieger. She claims that the Sinaloa cartel out of Mexico has been involved in a decades-long money laundering and racketeering scheme using fraudulent mortgages and real estate transactions in order to hide money that was raised through drug trafficking, human trafficking, and other crimes. And as you heard, she also claims that the cartel has bribed elected officials in order to rig elections across that state. Brieger says her findings were reported to Republican Governor Doug Ducey last year.